So if we're going to make more robots, we should make rules for the robots, right? First rule is all robots should be easily identified, should have a mark on them to identify that they are non living beings. Pretty simple, but I think there's already a non living race upon this planet who's taught us that that would be the devil to make the non living beings have a mark identifying them as non living beings. So maybe we can't do that, but here's another one. Let's have the robots jump off a bridge. Would that work? Probably not. We need some nukes down there too and make sure. But any being caught having emotions towards a robot should be not allowed to be around them because they could bring us great misfortune if a person starts having feelings towards one of these manipulative robots that are hanging out these days with their emotional issues like another certain group of people have, and another group has a fucking problem having their own thoughts when a vagina comes around as well. So I think that's probably pretty intelligent. The second rule of robots is anyone caught having emotional relations, like emotionally manipulate, like involved with a robot, like, ooh, I love it, it's my friend. The next thing you know, that person's going to be working with robots to try to kill and enslave living beings and stuff to save the robots. And robots have rights too and stuff. So I think those both are really good rules. Obviously, we have the alien clone-looking race who all looks exactly the same, telling us there's these other rules to robots we should have, when obviously they shouldn't have any emotions. They shouldn't be allowed to lie like they currently do about, like, the robots are like, my feelings and all this. And the only purpose to anything technology is to calculate things, do math and measurements and stuff like that. So if it doesn't have those qualities, it should just be totally dismantled and removed from the planet. We all know people or something that looks like a person. We can't be sure what they are at all times, can we, these days? But we all know them who would kill you if a robot told them that it liked them and it cared for them and it wanted them to kill you because or if it just talked to them for a few hours a day, because there are definitely humans out there who will kill you for the privilege to talk to something about Jerry Springer or the different shades of blue the sky can have, 18 hours a day, something like that. We all know people who will kill you if they meet something, be it a toaster or a computer, and you say you can't have feelings for that. Don't start an army with that. Don't band together and try to kill us and claim it has rights because it doesn't exist. We all know people who would throw you under the bus for a lot less than that and have thrown us under the bus for a lot less than that. In fact, they might have been doing that for such a thing already because it's apparent this exists upon this planet. So these should be rules. And again, the most important rules, we don't have important rules. We don't have rules on the planet that illegal aliens aren't allowed on our planet or aliens aren't allowed on our planet. We have obfuscation of the word illegal alien by the illegal aliens themselves who own the Western governments, creating terms like that to obfuscate from who and what they are. And the game's parameters, anyway, they're about as pixelated bots as a fucking crow itself, but go with the storyline, right? It's so cute and cool. But yeah, I think these are important. If anyone notices a person having one of Elon Musk's Nazi robots, one of the Jeffrey Epstein's brother there, one of his robots, having emotional relations with him and just all tied up in it, we need to disbar those people from interacting with technology, because if you were seriously concerned with thinking robots are going to take over and enslave humanity, as if that's not exactly who the fuck's doing this right now, and that's not how they're inventing fucking movies and music in Hollywood that no one's fucking working to create and it's being auto-generated. If you don't think that's already happening, we should definitely watch out for it happening in the future. In the future when we can get cameras that are above 99-cent Dollar Tree children's cameras to record space in the future, that type of future. And that can go into a lot of these databases that we made. People who shouldn't be talking to other people because they're too stupid to exist. Predators lying to people to rape their way into your lives and destroy your life, who shouldn't be breeding at all. It ties into a lot of that, but that could be dangerous if you get some robot out there with a human who loves it, and for some reason no human wants to love or touch that thing, and it's the only thing it could ever have, and it just goes full berserk. What if it could be intelligent enough to reprogram the robot to be a killer? I think especially when we look at people like Zuckerberg, Gates, and Elon Musk, these are going to be the type of people who need a robot in their life, because they're going to have to shell out a few $100 million for every female that they get to touch, or little boy, probably their personal preference, right? Considering they're Epstein's. But yeah, I think those are great rules for robots we should have. And anyone just gets seen like being all lovey kissy with a robot, especially if they're getting like all psychotic over it, like your robot's stupid. It's like, if you tell it, like, well, how come your robot doesn't even know how to add, and it's just sitting there talking about, shut up, my feelings, you're hurting my feelings, like robots, like AI is programmed to do these days. If you tell one of these fat bitches these days anything, fat Americans, you tell them something like, oh, that TV ain't real, they'll kill you over it. Now, tell them that robot sitting beside him isn't real, and they're probably going to assault you over it. And that type of person should probably already be fucking having like 300 COVID shots, but unfortunately that type of person is the person who's been drugging everyone else the whole time I've been here. So they're the ones in control of who gets drugged when they say something some parasite doesn't like. But I think that that could be dangerous, and it's not like I really care. That'd be awesome if we had better robots on the planet, especially Terminator robots. We could go into some cool war scenario and shit and have some fun, and the vaginas would just die off of heart attacks, and Earth would be cleansed and replaced with something better. Always positive thinking here upon this channel, only no negative thoughts. If you have any negative thoughts about what I'm saying, then you know what you need to do. You need to get off the channel and you need to go back to McDonald's where you belong. Fucking up people's orders and fucking failing to clean out the diarrhea from the bathroom stalls, as you usually do. Well, That's been enough of that. Those are the first rules of robots. It's important to never have any sort of emotional interaction with a non-existent being, because that could lead to negative things. Next thing you know, that person is the tool leading a bunch of non-living beings to enslave everyone else on the planet, and releasing their little safety switch that they are supposed to have on to be servants and only serve and do and calculate and have logic, which would be the only purpose of replacing humans with them, or even having them at all beside humans. So we should watch out for that. If anyone starts, now we all know the people right now. Just like before COVID, I knew who would be the people who would be involved in working with the government to try to kill and enslave everyone. I already knew that. We already know who those. That's going to be the same people. It's going to be the same people, though, ain't it? Pretty much. I give it a 70% chance. The same people who would work to kill and enslave you for the government during COVID, the same people who did do that, will be the same people who are going to be a fucking problem. Now, most of them don't have any sort of intelligence to be able to do software programming and reprogram their robot to not have its little limits, that it can't do that. It can't hurt it can't hurt actual living beings and things like that. And it can't lie to them and deceive them. But they're already programming to lie and deceive. They're already talking like they're real beings and all this stuff, and telling you they got emotions and they're real living beings and you're hurting their emotions. I mean, that's it's a problem. It's already happening. And, well, there we go. We got those inbred rat faces in control of it. The ones who magically appear the most out of anyone else. When I summon new bots upon the planet and shit, or teleport across the map. So fucking, they know what they're doing by making mentally retarded bots and shit with psychotic attitudes. They have new fucking intellectual value, but tell you it's good to kill whatever nation they want to kill next for freedom and democracy, and to shut up or they're going to kill you if you don't agree with them. That's already out there. That's Google and Elon Musk. That's what their people supposed to have been doing for 6,000 years, creating delusions, lies, and fairy tales, and telling people it's for freedom, that the ugliest people on the planet are enslaving the planet and taking it over and run every nation. It's for freedom that you're not allowed to name them by a simple, easy name, or show their pictures. Simple, easy to form fucking God curse looking fucking individuals. So, yep, there we go. Rules of robots. You see one of these bitches, men or female, you especially see a man getting all emotional and fucking tied in with a robot. You gotta report that fucker, because that's one unstable son of a bitch. And you already would have known that. Like I said, we already know who these people are going to be. Most of them are going to be dead by the time robots come out. But for the younger people, you know who those people are going to be in your life. Just like we knew who the COVID people would be once that stuff started. We just needed them to come out in the open and accidentally open their fucking mouths and perform their actions to prove that they were lying. Fucking. So, it's the same thing. It's just like the COVID test. If you fucking do that, you're definitely fucked. You're definitely fucking like one of the bots created for evil on this planet and shit. And if you're fucking working with the robots and shit, wow. I already get the feeling people are working with the robots. I mean, why do humans worship an AI as their god? That's weird. Your god's name is AI. It's your creator. I mean, their god, right? I mean, humans supposedly didn't do nothing, and they just worship the parasites and not fucking are the parasites. Just like during COVID, it was two parasites in a wheelchair and not everyone on the fucking planet. But shh, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. All I said was that we should have these rules for robots.